Hello, guys. Thank you for tuning into our podcast, Casual Folks. My name is Matthew. This is Joshua.
Hi, everyone. Really appreciate you tuning in today. We had a really juicy conversation about Bitcoin. Just a quick overview of a couple of topics. We spoke about transactions. We spoke about trust. We spoke about possible weaknesses within Bitcoin. We really hope you enjoy it, and we look forward to feedback. And we hope you return for some more videos later.
Enjoy. Like what analysis do you use for Bitcoin? It just goes up and down.
You can do both fundamental and technical.
Based on what
analysis.
for Bitcoin?
Okay, but I can here. You ready?
Yeah.
So okay.
I need detail.
Okay, you ready?
I don't need vague stuff.
No,
right
you
now.
got to get full things.
Yeah.
Elon just bought 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin.
Good.
Boom. That's big enough, right? For Bitcoin price to jump. It just added 1.5 billion to its market cap. That alone makes Bitcoin go up.
Got it.
Boom. Right? Now, back to the macro levels that you're talking about, it just goes up and it goes down, right? Those swings that you're seeing is just because this isn't regulated.
Exactly.
Right? This isn't regulated. This is just people with a couple millions or 10, 20 million dollars that can move the market. You can't do that in the stocks.
No.
20 million is baby money. You have a hedge fund come and eat you if you're running around with 20 million dollars with an open position that they can see.
They just take it.
They'd be like, yo, 20 million, let me come with 21 million and eat that. Right? So that's why the fluctuation of what you see in small, like, and when I say small, that's like $1,000. Yeah, because think about it. The market cap is huge now at $1 trillion, but that money still moves the market in that way. When you see the big dips, you have to understand. Remember, this isn't regulated. A country says they're going to ban it. People don't know about this. People are just chasing the hype, which is perfectly fine, right? You can chase the hype. Hopefully, you make money. But when they don't know what's going on, look at GameStop. Look at GameStop. People don't know what's going on. They chase the hype and they get burned. Some people understand what a short squeeze is, what a gamma squeeze is, and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You have to look at the real things. Back to Bitcoin. Is which country banned it now?
India.
Right? How much do the real people that transact in Bitcoin are in India?
Not much.
Perspective-wise, right?
That, but what can India do
to stop
those people who, even if it's a small amount of people, what can they do to stop them?
Listen, the only way to stop Bitcoin
might stop them from transacting.
It's just turn off the internet.
Yeah.
You can't do that. They're gonna lose too much money trying to stop Bitcoin by turning off the internet. Right?
What they can do is forbid transactions.
But then it'll just still go up in value.
But so what happens if
it'll make those micro transactions?
Okay, good. Are you ready for this? They already have rivals. It's called the American dollar.
Yeah.
How's that doing?
No, digital
the
currency.
rupee as well.
But so what? So what?
Those currencies are going to become digital.
Yeah.
What do you think the dollar is only a physical currency?
And what happens if it's outlawed?
Okay, even if it's outlawed.
What would they do to stop it? What is Bitcoin being used for right now? So when you say outlawed, right?
Yes.
What would fundamentally change?
If it's outlawed, what can you do with it?
What do people do with? What do you think people do?
So far, they hold it and transfer it, buy stuff, etc.
They don't really buy
stuff.
No one buys stuff with it.
Bitcoin is not a currency.
It's a store of value.
So if I'm going to take 10 Bitcoins and give it to you, and you give me a picture, what is that? Not a purchase?
Yeah, but you wouldn't do that.
But can it be done?
100% it can be done.
So then it can be used for purchase.
Yeah, but that would be like me trading my car for your car.
It's barter system. It's a purchase. What's the difference?
So it's an exchange of property.
What's the difference?
No,
it's not. I'm not using a currency to buy it. It's
we call a cow as a property. We exchange it, and the cow becomes the currency.
Well, I'm not arguing with the barter system.
That is the same system,
right? I'm not arguing with that.
But you're complicating it.
No, but you're saying your original thing was saying that.
Hold on, time out. I have a good example. Back to the whole car.
Yeah.
I come with two gold brick bars. You taking that for your car?
Yeah, I'll take it.
You take it, right? But why would I do that? Why would I give you 2 bricks?
I don't know. You're crazy.
Exactly.
You're crazy out
That's
here.
why people don't spend their Bitcoin. It's only the crazy people that spend their Bitcoin.
My point is that it could be done.
100% it could be done.
So if the government turns it off and makes it illegal, what do
but
you
how
do
do you
with
turn
it?
it off?
You can't turn it off.
How do you turn? That's what you
if
said
they banned
first.
it. If they banned it.
But you're only banning the transactions.
Listen, right now.
You can only ban me. You can only forcibly enforce me not trading my Bitcoin for your car.
That's it.
But you can't stop me from keep buying Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is peer-to-peer, not government to peer.
But before you reach that level of peer-to-peer. You had to move from government to peer.
No.
How did your money get into Bitcoin?
What, you talking about the cash?
How did your dollars get into
How are they
Bitcoin?
gonna-
Exchange.
Yeah, how are they
Doing
going to
exchange?
stop me from exchanging it?
Just shut down the exchange.
Yeah, but look how many exchanges there are.
They shut down the bank, stop them from
They
putting
can't.
it in
They
Bitcoin.
can't.
They can because it's
I'm not saying shut down the bank, but stop that transaction from happening.
they can. They
Then
can't.
how would they do that?
How are they gonna find that?
What if I decide to fly to India, to somewhere where it's legal, and
Japan.
I purchase it there?
Japan.
In
Then
person?
you have to stay in Japan.
No, you
No,
don't.
I
just
can
use
come
your-
back with it.
Yeah, and you can come back with it.
Who's taking it away?
But who's doing that?
Everyone.
Who's flying to countries?
If you make it illegal, and look,
You're saying people are going to fly to other countries because they believe
people
in
flew
this.
to other countries to
A
buy
whole
gold.
company called XRP left the United States to go to Japan just for that. Just for that.
Just for crypto.
Just because the U.S.
Just
decided to call it a security instead of a property,
And then
and they were like, "Well,
we're gonna leave.
we won't operate in the U.S. then."
Good. That's a company though. Bitcoin is not a
so
company.
if-
They
That's
need-
not-
Yeah, but okay. So listen, you gotta.
I know you're
understand.
giving me anomalies, but I don't care about
No,
anomalies.
I'm not talking about anomalies.
No, that's
It's
what all of them
want-
gonna
I
happen.
want the
everything.
general
Everything
average.
that you do,
That'll be fair.
every investment that you make, you're sacrificing another investment for it.
Right?
Mhm.
Physical fiat,
Got it.
your time for that fiat.
Yes.
Or you buy a stock, you're
Mhm.
giving up that fiat for the stock, or instead of the stock, you buy gold, but you're giving up the fiat for the gold,
Mhm.
or you buy a car, or you buy a house,
Mhm.
or you buy Bitcoin. And then if you buy Bitcoin, you've given up all those other assets as well, because now that money you allocated that you had
Mhm.
is now in this one asset. So you can't buy stock or before. The only way you could do that is if you leave this asset
Mhm.
and go into one of those. So you're always going to be giving up one thing for another.
I get that.
Back to the gold thing and Bitcoin. Back in your car,
Mhm.
right? For example, when we want to convert a piece of gold into money,
Mhm.
there's a fee,
Yes.
correct? Unless it makes sense to even pay the fee, most people choose not to, right?
Mhm.
The same thing with Bitcoin. To transact, it's not that Bitcoin isn't a currency or
Mhm.
can be used as a currency.
Mhm.
It can be used as a currency. It was meant as one of its functions to be used as a currency.
Yeah.
But at the rate that it's at now,
Mhm.
remember the fee I just explained to you of converting your gold back into fiat?
Yeah.
It wouldn't, for most people, it won't make sense to pay that fee to transact
Mhm.
It's not just the fee either. But why would I sell something
that I know it's going to appreciate.
that is appreciating at 200 to 400% annually
Mhm.
for something that's losing value? Why would I do that?
People crazy.
No, but yeah, but
No,
then that's an anomaly
you
in
can't
itself.
just say that
Exactly.
people are crazy. You can't just say that. You're saying,
But-
what if the government bans it? I'm saying, what do I got to do with anything?
If the government bans it,
Mhm.
the people that need to sell will sell. The price will tumble, and that's
Exactly.
perfectly fine.
And
And
then
it'll
it'll
go
stay-
right
it'll
back
go
up.
right back up.
Go right back
Because
up.
there's a need for something that is not tied to the state and governments.
Yeah. And guess what? If Bitcoin does become centralized,
It will go to zero.
and something new will come in a different form that
Mhm.
represents decentralization.
Yes.
This is why this is so huge.
Basically, it's the same thing I see across history is a rebellion. People are rebelling against.
Well, yeah, because you're
Centralized.
I guess you could
Currency.
summarize it as a rebellion.
It is a
But-
rebellion.
but why
because
do
if
you
you're going to tell me it's going to drop, people are going to pull out if they ban
But why
it.
do you think
and then
that's
go back
why do you
up.
think that's happening? Why do you think people are giving up dollars, which we've been transacting in for
ages.
a couple
Mhm.
hundred years? We've been using the US dollars. Why all of a sudden we don't want to use it anymore?
It's worthless. Becoming worthless.
It was always worthless with the moment we
In
came
the
off the gold
70s.
standards.
Right.
Yeah.
The moment we
there
came
was
off the
a
gold standard,
fundamental
in the
change
70s.
that clicked
Nixon.
and caused all this to happen.
Okay.
And it's just been snowballing.
Yeah.
I understand that because I understand the rebellion.
Do you understand
against-
how Bitcoin is also inflation proof?
No.
Okay, good. You saw how we just printed.
It's actually deflationary too.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here we go.
Based on based on
The
what?
math.
Well,
I get right. I'm right.
mhm.
So just like how we printed, what was it, 23%
Yeah.
of our money,
24.
24% of our money last year. Was
Yeah.
it last year or this year?
No, 40% of the total supply, and we had an inflation. We printed 40% of the existing money supply in a 12-month
Month
period, but it was an increase of 24%.
Okay, right? When we printed all that money, where did it come from? Thin air, right? Absolutely.
They just added the zeros on the
exactly
computer and that was it.
on the balance sheet, right? Boom. With Bitcoin, you just can't create Bitcoin out of nowhere. There's X amount of the white paper. There's X amount of Bitcoins to be released, X amount of, but this time then it halves, it becomes even more difficult and more difficult. Once it's capped at its limit,
21 million.
there's no more. You can't go print anymore. You can't compute any more Bitcoin. That's it. There's no more. What do you do
What
now?
happens to it at that point?
The supply is zero. The demand is still the same. What happens? Or grows. What happens to the price?
It goes up.
Ridiculously. Exactly. Why hasn't the US dollar not go up? Because we're just printing
too much.
So
and
this is why
we can print more.
We
And
can't, you said?
there's nothing stopping us.
There's
There's nothing stopping us. Look what happened to Venezuela. Look at their
their currency collapsed.
That's quick. Our currency is not collapsing. Listen, this is America. This is the greatest country in the world.
Yes.
Right? And no one's and that's not gonna change.
Well, our currency is not collapsing relative
to everyone
else's currency.
So they're okay.
If
everyone else is just being bad. We're worse than us. We're bad, but not like the rest.
No. It's because we have control.
We're the we're the hypocrites.
Oh, America is the hypocrites.
We're the ones fucking everything up, but we can do whatever we want.
We can do whatever we want.
Oh, okay.
That's what happens when you're the king.
Oh, yes.
That's what happens when you're the king.
When you're the king. This is why I always tell them. I always make a comparison to kings and queens because it's the same thing.
It's a king. They can do whatever they want.
They can create as much coins as this guy in the Roman thing. He could print coins in here free.
Yeah,
and that's what we're doing. So the rebellion that you guys are
part of.
Yeah, first movers, I would say, because you guys are in it for like years.
Years.
You're saying this is what you're seeing based on historical data, right?
From Bitcoin's track record.
Historical data.
Of Bitcoin.
Of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But then you tied it to outside real data, right?
Because now listen to this, right? When you transact with banks, right? When you send money back home, even Western Union and all these guys, how many days does it take for that money to clear?
Well, Western Union is right away.
Small
but
money.
If you send with banks, it takes days.
Even with Western Union, when it's big amount of sum of money, it takes days.
Yes.
And it takes
also
3 days business minimum, especially from a bank. The fees, big ass fees.
My point. And now if this eliminates all of that.
Not for small transactions as
they're huge.
But
for
very large transactions.
Move millions of dollars in instant transaction versus having it be a wire transfer, having to pay the fee. The fees are significantly less. Why not do that? Why spend all this extra and take days versus something that's almost right away until they fix the Lightning network.
Well,
but
that's the
3 transactions per second.
That's the
potential.
Like
that.
No one that's buying Bitcoin right now is thinking about doing something like that right now.
And that's the blockchain you're talking about.
Yeah.
Got it.
Right. That's why other coins are coming out.
That's what
altcoins and all that stuff. And that's why Bitcoin is so important. Bitcoin is like, it's like the father.
The Lightning Network wasn't even an innovation of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It was an innovation of Litecoin.
Litecoin.
It was tested on another crypto
and then brought over.
Well, Litecoin has the same code base as Bitcoin, and then deviates.
Consensus. That's the really important thing to remember.
Whose consensus?
The miners.
Okay.
The miners.
Be clear
the miners.
When you're telling me
the miners.
I don't know who is who.
Do you know what a miner is?
Yes. I know you because we came.
Oh yeah, we mine.
We will mine.
But for the people that don't understand, like when you use a credit card, right? You need to, for example, Visa, MasterCard, you need to use their network in order to transact.
Yes.
The balance to come off your credit and then goes into the merchant's.
I think it's the Swift network.
Excellent. Who runs that? Visa and them, right?
Yes.
MasterCard, they run their own stuff, right? But with crypto, anyone can be a miner, even though it's hard now.
Yeah.
Right? Even though these big guys are doing it. But in theory, anyone could be a miner to help run this network. And that makes it decentralized. So that means anyone can have a piece of the ledger.
You can actually run a node. You could be a part of the entire network.
No, I understand. I saw you guys. Well, I saw you guys do it, and I still have problems with it, the mining itself, because of security reasons that I know of.
Okay.
But I know that you guys have been in it for a while, so that's why I wanted to ask you questions so you can explain things, not just in your terms, but in terms that I can understand.
100%.
So when I asked, like I was going back to the Bitcoin thing in the 70s, you guys are telling me this, but like if I'm saying based on my historical data,
go ahead.
That I don't see when they start rivaling Bitcoin, the governments, sovereign nations said they don't want this in their country. If I'm not gonna say when, that's wrong. If you guys then turn around and be like, they can't stop us, right? Because what? We're gonna put on a VPN?
No, it's not a VPN.
No. I'm just saying, and they like, okay, so they turned off.
You could use a VPN to get around it.
Yes,
yeah, of course. You
basically use a VPN to get around it, right?
But you don't even need a VPN to do that. What happens is once your coins are actually off of an exchange, and you have physical coin, not a real coin, but in a wallet, a cold storage,
you can trade between
with each other. We don't need anything. We just need a computer that has a.
It doesn't even need the internet.
Yeah, we don't even need the internet. So
I
now
that. But see, my problem with that.
Okay, let me ask you. What happened during Prohibition when they banned alcohol?
Obviously, the bootleggers started.
Not only the bootleggers, but
you had the underground bars.
Exactly, and alcohol still was
flourished underground.
Exactly. My point is, even when they will try. The government, they're not going to ban it. They're going to regulate it.
Yes.
But here's the beautiful thing about
nothing's wrong with that.
It's good. We want the regulations. The people who
really. That's
are you ready for this?
It gives us straightforward guidelines on
how
to
this?
operate.
And no, wait. Before you continue, then it gives you straightforward guidance on how to manipulate it.
Time out. No, it gives you guidelines of how.
If you're going to regulate something with no regulation,
there's an argument that you could say that it's already being manipulated.
It's not about us manipulating it. It's about the standard that the government wants it to be manipulated by.
Yes.
Time out.
So,
that sounds funny?
Yes.
Hold on.
Hilarious.
This is a standard now.
They're already doing it. This is so exciting.
What do you think happens when they do block trades?
Yeah.
Block trades?
When they sell millions of shares of stocks off market and we don't know about. That's being manipulated. And it's legal. It's legal by government. Government standard. Hedge funds can do this.
Also, what do you think about all the paper gold that is in existence? And the paper Bitcoin.
Yeah.
There's paper gold.
Yeah.
Like thin papers of gold?
No, you can purchase.
See, these are the terms.
No.
He's gonna know. What are you talking about?
Paper gold is like, for example, okay, your money's paper, right?
Yes.
Right. You have the only thing that says that you actually have the money that you have is not the actual physical money that you have on you. It's what's on a ledger in the bank that says how many ones and zeros you have.
Yes.
Right. Technically, when you buy gold, like the paper of it is saying that you have the right to this physical thing. You physically don't own it. Yeah. You have this. You own the paper. You own the paper.
Oh, like a certificate.
But it says that you can take order of it.
What does that mean? What does order mean?
In the case that you take that contract that says that you own this specific amount of gold,
and that's called a deed.
Yeah, you could call it a deed if you want. It's not called a deed though. But let's
along the line, your logic is correct.
Yeah, you could say that. Well, I want to take delivery of my gold,
of my physical asset. Bring it to me now.
So so you're transferring the paper to physical.
Got it.
So it's still paper though.
But guess what happens with paper gold? There's way more paper in existence than there is gold.
So they're selling bootleg paper.
Wow.
So that's why the price of gold is so manipulated. No, that's the manipulation. You said manipulation. That's the guidelines that the government wants gold to be manipulated.
And that's my counter. Is like, if you guys are screaming decentralized, why do you want regulation?
Are you ready for this? This is from, hold on, Josh.
Gold, okay.
For
Bitcoin, not gold. I don't care about gold.
Listen,
no, there is gold, but there's an insight to it that you gotta. Gold is inflationary. They still find gold.
Yeah, there's so many gold.
Gold, the 2% a year, they find more gold. So gold, the amount of gold
supply is increasing.
Still expanding.
Got it.
The amount of Bitcoin is reducing.
That's deflationary. Back to
see, that was very simple. You could have just said, I was like, inverse this,
but
inverse that.
We couldn't. We needed to go through this in order to understand that. So now we know for next time.
Because I didn't know exactly where.
I hope you guys are gonna go over this and edit all this shit, right?
Why?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm just cutting it in half, maybe. But
no, I'm saying you know, because what happens is just like what we just did here, and I go over this again and then redo this properly.
No, it's not gonna be too formal, man. You know,
whatever.
We did it formal, and it was,
the people didn't like it.
It didn't come off
structured.
This is what
they want better. A casual conversation.
Okay, all right. Then,
so curse, do what you guys do.
All right, back to
this is gonna split in half.
Back. What were we talking about with the Bitcoin?
So we just said the goal.
His inflation as like you guys just make
it way more.
Oh, why we want regulator? Okay.
Yeah, why you screaming regulation?
We want this to be regulated. You want to know why?
Yeah.
This gets of all the fluff.
What is that?
The fluff is the people that are doing the illegal stuff with Bitcoin, the criminals. These fuckers are gonna need to go now, right? Because this is what's happening. Guess what? See? Listen to this. And this is how I explain it to all the goddamn boomers that don't want to buy Bitcoin. You know how I explain it to them? Remember that flip phone you used to have?
Yeah.
What you got in your pocket now? A smartphone.
iPhone.
Right? Remember when you always used to use cash and coins to pay the meter? What do you use now? Credit cards. Why? Didn't you hate those things in the beginning? The moment it becomes regulated, the mass has to adopt it.
Gotcha.
The fluff will come off, price will go down, but when the mass comes in, the mass is significantly bigger than the fluff. The fluff is just fluff. It's foam. It's fluffy. Get that header off of that beer. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why
you want
institutions are entering now. So we were a part of the early adopters.
Yes.
But it's still early.
It's still
super early.
I wouldn't say super early, but it's still fairly early.
Phase two.
Yeah.
So you guys are phase 1 and 0 and 1. But
okay,
0
so
for you, 1 for him.
No. We were late. It was a little different. So I would say early adoption was like steampunk. Those cyber guys who were in chat rooms.
Yeah, those guys. Those were under $1.
They're
$10.
They're now millionaires, hundreds of millions, billionaires.
Right? Billions, yeah.
So I would say that's anywhere between 2011 and 2014. Those are the early
zero.
Early adoption. Yeah, phase 0. That's phase 0. We're phase 1. Early adopters.
And then I jumped in on phase 2.
Right.
Based on my difference
on the early institutional adoption,
which is okay with me because I understand, because by then I kind of got a little more idea and trust to put my money into it. Before, you guys could yell all you want.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. If you don't believe
I'm not going to support you.
It's your money.
Yeah, it was my money. I was like, I understand what you're telling me, but it doesn't seem as though it's informative enough for me to put that money.
100%.
That was my logic behind not jumping in the stock market and not jumping into Bitcoin.
Yeah, but again,
because I did not understand enough.
Are you ready for this? Now your logic and your lack of understanding is being tested by just looking and trying to make sense of it.
Exactly.
And that's how it starts.
How you grow.
You're stress testing Bitcoin. The idea of it, its existence.
Exactly.
What it could be used for, what's the use cases. But there's a lot of there's a lot of people who are smarter than us, that are smarter than you, who are looking at this asset and saying, this is something that I can't pass on.
Yeah.
Got it.
I have to either they're saying, I promise I'm gonna look at this more, or they're going in with 2 feet.
Yeah. A lot of people, you see, they're jumping, and look at what number they're jumping at. 50,000. 50,000.
And people were afraid at 5.
At 15, at 20.
Yeah. 25,
30, yeah.
40, 45.
We can count by 5, guys.
Count by 5.
That's the only way we're not.
So yeah, this is why Bitcoin is important. And regulation is fine. Let it come.
So what do you see it being in 10 years? Like 5 years, not 10 years. That's too long.
Closer to $1 million. I see by the end of this year, it's going to be 100,000. Because what happened is these ETFs, Vanguard, some big hedge funds have formally applied for ETFs, for Bitcoin ETFs.
Fidelity.
There you go.
Yes.
Right. So once these guys start to come in, it's not 100 million, it's a few billions.
Thank you for tuning into our podcast. Look forward for more content coming soon. Enjoy, guys.
Bye.
Bye.